Hi everyone, it's day 3 and we are today going to be looking at Jude. Now, this is a small letter. It's written by not one of the original disciples, but it's written by the brother of Jesus. So many of us know that James was a brother of Jesus and became a leader in the church, but not so many people know that Jude was also a brother of Jesus. Mary and Joseph had many children, and this is one of the sons who grew up knowing Jesus, but wasn't part of the original 12. But obviously has come to accept that Jesus was the Son of God, was his Saviour. And as a family going concern, probably he gained a bit of authority in the church because he knew Jesus and knew what he was like. And here he is as an early church leader writing to other Christian congregations and saying, look, you've got to be wary. You've got to be concerned with some of the peripheral teachings that are going on. There are teachers out there that are trying to tell you things that aren't actually true. They aren't sticking to the original gospel, that Jesus is the way, the truth and the life. They're introducing new ideas and thoughts. And we have that today, as I mentioned before this week. We have lots of influences that surround us, all the social media, the YouTubes, the professionals, the politicians, and sometimes, sadly, even so-called Christian leaders. Well, introduce ideas and thoughts that are just not in line with the original gospel message. Now, how do we deal with that? Jude says you've got to defend your faith. You've got to stand up for the truth. And there are several ways it can go. The understanding that Jesus has done it all, that it is salvation through grace alone, is the right idea. But if you take that idea to the extreme, it means that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter because Christ has done it all. There's nothing you can do. So even if you sin, you can still be forgiven. So, say all your prayers of forgiveness. As long as you say those prayers, you can sin as much as you want. That's hardly the gospel message, is it? Gospel message is surrender your life to Jesus. He is not only your Saviour, but he's also your Lord. And you submit your life. It's no longer your rights. It's no longer your life. It's Jesus living through you and making an impact in the world around you through you because you're honouring Jesus and God in your life. Now, the other extreme that's been introduced in this time is that you've got to follow rules and regulations like they did in the Jewish faith. We accept Jesus is the way to the Father, but when we've accepted Jesus, we've got to follow the rule book. We've got to follow the ways of Moses. We've got to adopt all these rules and regulations, and we've got to hold fast to them so much that we squeeze out a lot of the love and the grace that comes through the gospel. So you've got two extremes. You've got the do whatever you want extreme, and you've got the do it by the book extreme, the regulations and legislation. Those are the extremes, and they were influencing the early church. And we have that today. We have very religious people and we have very liberal people. The liberals will say, do whatever you want. As long as you love people, that's all that matters. And God will forgive you in the end because he loves everybody. And we have the very religious people who say, you've got to do it this way. This is the way to do it. But Jude is a very useful book just to remind us that we've got to know the truth. To defend the truth, we've got to know it. And the way we defend our faith today is that we get into the Bible. We have a rock solid foundation in which to base our understanding of who God is and how we relate to him. So let's read our Bibles, let's study our Bibles, let's get together and discuss the Bible so that we actually do know it. That's what the scriptures have been given for, so let's use it. We know the truth also by a relationship with God. You don't get to know someone unless you spend time with them, so pray and talk to God. and also his people. We've been given this wonderful church to be surrounded by, so we can have those discussions, we can learn together, we can hold each other accountable, we can encourage each other. That is the way to know the truth and then to be able to stand fast. Whenever anyone asks a challenging question, whenever a so-called Christian denomination like the JWs or the Mormons knock on your door, you have an answer for their questions because you know the truth. And the truth has set you free, and you are so grateful you're going to live your life for Jesus. That's what we should be about. And Judah reminds us that we must defend our faith. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.